In this video, I'm going to show how to get the code for this tutorial from codinginflow.com. Now, the code for this tutorial has been developed in 10 parts, well, it's actually 9 parts, and I've already downloaded the zip files for part 1 and part 2. I'm now going to download the zip file with the code for part 3. Once I've got the code, I'm going to import that into Android Studio and then run the app showing everything up to end of part 3. So the code is available here in the GitHub Coding in Flow folder, and I'm going to be taking the code from here to my Android Studio on my laptop, and then I'm going to upload that project to my own GitHub here. So I'm going back to here. So the first thing I need to do is get the code in a zip file from here. So I'm interested in part 3. Now you'll see all the branches in the button here. You can, once you get to this folder, just have a look around and see what's here. We can see that there are 10 branches here, and if you click here, you'll see the master branch and the other 9 parts that make up the main code. So the one I want today is this one. And so the first thing I'll do, I'll just click on part 3, make sure it's showing part 3, and then I'm going to download the zip file. So the code, press here. Now I'm going to download the zip file, so press here, and you'll notice at the bottom status bar, make sure it says part 3. So downloading the file to my laptop, then I'm going into the download folder, and there it is. So I've downloaded part 3. This is a zip file, and I'm going to be putting this zip file into my Android Studio projects folder, which is under home. So I need to move it to this folder. So going back to downloads, I'll right click and move to. So I need to select home, Android Studio projects. Now that file already exists, so I did this earlier, so I'll just replace that file. And now if I go into my home folder, Android Studio projects, you'll see that part 3 has been moved into this folder. The next thing I need to do is simply unzip this and keep the same directory structure, and it will be unzipped to a folder here, and you'll see once it's done there will be a part 3. I've already downloaded part 1 and part 2 and part 9. Okay, so double click on the file, and here is the folder that's going to be created, and so it's part 3, navigating to another fragment. So click on extract, and we want to extract all files, keep the directory structure and extract. So I'll just close this now, and now you can see part 3 folder directory has been created, and this contains all the project files you can see inside if you wish. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, I've already got Android Studio open. I'm going to open this folder as a project in Android Studio. So in Android Studio projects folder, these are all different apps. Now I'm now going to go into Android Studio, and I'm going to click on opening existing project, and now I'm going to select our new folder, part 3 of the project, which has just been unzipped, and click on OK. Now you can see it has opened. We've got the tutorial opened. Tip of the day, we can just close this for now. But what we can't avoid is this. This is an error message. Now this is related to the version control system such as Git, and I'm going to show you how to fix that error, and then we can run the code. Okay, so to fix this error we need to find, I'm going to go to project view, and we want the .idea folder, and look for vcs.xml. If you open that, you'll see this contains the VCS directory mappings, and in our case we're using Git. So the mapping, somewhere in here the mapping is not correct, so what we can do is just simply delete that file, and then we'll recreate the project, and that file will be recreated with the correct path. Okay, so we've deleted that, so I'm now going to just clean the project, and now rebuild project. And if you look at the bottom here, the Gradle build is running, and once that's completed I'm going to restart Android Studio, clearing out the cache, and then check if our code is running correctly. Okay, so that has been done. Now I just want to show you that the VCS buttons are missing, Git buttons, which are normally displayed here. So we need to fix that as well. So first thing I'm going to do is now select File, Invalidate Caches and Restart. So this will basically restart and fix any paths that might be incorrect. So we're now restarting, and it's automatically opening part 3. Okay, so it's now scanning files to index, it's now indexing. This may take a little bit of time. While it's doing that, we can set up the version control system. So we have to enable the version control, and we do that. I am using Git, so we can keep that. Just click OK. Once that's done, you'll see the Git buttons have been are now showing, and you'll see that the color of the files has changed. That happens when we set up a new Git repository. So here it says created Git repository for my part 3, so that's where that has been done. So now that we've got a Git repository, we can actually push this repository up to my remote GitHub folder. Okay, so now plugin recommended, I would update, so I'm just going to click on that. It's always a good idea to update to the latest versions. Project configuration files can be added to Git. Now I'm going to always add, so make sure that when the repository is pushed it contains all the relevant files. Okay, so we're now indexing is done. So what I'm going to do now, I've got my device Pixel 3a XL phone attached to my laptop. You won't be able to see that, but I'm just going to run this to make sure everything is good. So you can see Gradle build is running, and now this status bar you can get through view tool windows, so just play with these to make sure that you can see the status bar. Now my success, my code, my app is now running on my phone. Everything looks good, so I'm now going to stop the app. You can either stop it through your phone and then it goes back to the run button, or you notice a little red square, you can stop it there. That would stop the app. Okay, so the app is now stopped. So what I want to do now is upload my I need to upload now. Just need to turn my phone off here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I want to upload my local repository up to my remote repository. Now to see here, this is Coding in Flow GitHub, and now what I want to do is to load the repository from my local machine to this remote repository. So let's look at the repositories I already have, which are these, and you can see I've already got part 1 and part 2 and the first initial beginning part of the tutorial. Okay, so we need to upload part 3. So going back to Android Studio, first thing, let's go to VCS, and we want to import into version control. Now the version control is GitHub, so share project on GitHub. And so here is going to create, now we need to change the repository name. So I'm just going to take out the spaces there and put part 3 on the end. So part 3 is going to be created on GitHub, and so now just share. So it's creating the repository. Now these are all the files to be, so I'm just going to select all the files, and that's it. So I'm going to add those. Now this is the initial commit, just to show it's working. I'm going to put, so today is Sunday the 7th of May 2021, time is 9:22 AM. So let's correct that and add, and it's now pushing to GitHub master, so that has been successfully shared on GitHub. So now if I go to GitHub, and I need to reload the page here, you can now see part 3, which was updated 12 seconds ago, to GitHub. Now if you open that folder, you will see this is the master. There are no branches here. There's just one branch, the master branch. There are no other branches, and these are all the files which have been just committed and pushed to GitHub. So what I've done is taken from this tutorial, which is in 10 parts, I wanted the third part, which is navigating to another fragment. The code for this tutorial is stored here, github.com coding in flow, and I took the part 3 code by downloading the zip from here to my home location on my local machine. I put the zip file into Android Studio Projects, unzipped it, opened it, and just corrected the VCS error, and the code runs correctly, and all the files have been committed and pushed to my local navigation component tutorial directory on github.com.